Oh boy, you guys, I am having trouble today getting this video started. It's been over a year of podcasting and I still can't figure out how to start a video sounding like a normal functioning human being. So, gonna try again. Hello. My name is Melissa and I am Stitches Be Slippin' on Instagram. This is the Stitches Be Slippin' YouTube channel where I mostly talk about knitting, some other crafts, etc. I have ADHD, so I get distracted by other things really easily, but mostly knitting is what I talk about here. I do talk about my life and all the things that are going on in it. I'm going to do that at the end of this podcast. Sometimes I do it at the beginning, sometimes I do it at the end. All depends on what I fancy that day. So today I fancy the end. That sounds weird. Anyway, I did say my name is Melissa. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And yeah, I started knitting, I don't know how many years ago it was. Between 5 and 10 years ago, I would say. Roughly 5 to 6 years ago, I think. On our last sabbatical vacation. My husband gets a sabbatical every 5 years from work. We're about to go on our sabbatical holiday. And the last time we went on our sabbatical holiday, I took my knitting with me, and it was the first time I had ever traveled with my knitting, and it was the first shawl I had ever made. So it was very early in my knitting career. So I'd say probably between 5 and 6 years I've been knitting. Nobody asked when I started knitting, but that just popped into my brain. So there, now you know a little bit more about me. I should also forewarn you, if you're new here, I am awesome, but I do also swear a lot. So if that's not your thing, then I totally understand, but I am not going to stop cursing for you. So I appreciate if you love my knitting content. I had someone mention that they really loved my knitting content, but that the cursing didn't, they could do without the cursing or cussing, I think they said, that it didn't add to my content, and I respectfully fucking disagree. So if you're not into that, you can, there are lots of other knitting podcasts out there who are lovely and don't have a potty mouth like I do. So nothing against you. I just really like it. I do feel like it adds some flavor to the sometimes vanilla-y world of knitting. So I'm just gonna keep this train rolling. My brain is something else today, so we'll see if I can get through this all. I'm starting a little bit late, so I hopefully can get all this done before I have to go pick up the kids from school. Yeah, I have 2 kids, 2 boys, age 9 and 11. I don't know if I said that already because I've started this about 15 times, so sorry if I said that already. Also, I'm going to apologize in advance because I got my hair did today and it looks super cute, but like this part right here is driving me crazy. It keeps like flopping in my eyes because it's freshly cut and like freshly styled and flat ironed and things, and so it's floppy and won't stay, you know what I mean. So I apologize if that drives you crazy. I'll try not to do that. So yeah, I do have a little bit of a structure today. I'm going to talk about my FOs. I'm going to talk about my whips. I'm going to talk about my future cast-ons because I've got a few on the horizon. A couple acquisitions, not really a lot. Then I'm going to take you on a tour of my knitting room. This is our new house that we just moved into, and I've got my new knitting room all set up, so I'll do that later. I'm also going to do a bit of a epic giveaway later, so you might want to hang around for that too. And then after that, I'll just talk about some life updates and stuff not really related to knitting. So let's get into it. This is the first thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm wearing. This is a pretty old whip, actually. Whip. It's not a whip. I'm wearing it. When did I make this? I think I made this shortly after what? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've had this for quite a while. This is the iconic Love Note, the legendary Love Note pattern by Tin Can Knits, with this gorgeous leaf lace motif. I made this one short sleeved. I can't remember why, just because I was feeling it. I highly recommend doing a short sleeve love note. It's perfect in the spring / fall. It keeps you warm, but you're not like dying of, because this is for fingering weight held with mohair. So it's fluffy, fuzzy. I don't know if you can see you can see it over here. The fluff halo from the mohair. For this one, I used Polka Dot Creek Bee's Knees for the fingering weight yarn, and for the mohair, I think I used just like a sand colored mohair, held them together, and it's, I wear this a lot. It's a very, very, very worn knit I have a drawer full of knits that I don't wear, and this is not one of them. Anyway, it looks really cute with like French tuck with my jeans. It's got a little high-low hem, and it's super fast. If you haven't made a love note, don't be intimidated by this lace section. There are no increases in this section, so you don't have to worry about increasing while you're doing lace. You just do the lace repeat in here. It's also really, really short lace repeat, so it's a really excellent beginner lace pattern. And I recommend putting a stitch marker after every repeat. Yes, there'll be a lot of stitch markers around, but then if you make a mistake within your repeat, then you don't have to like tink back all the way back to the beginning because you can't figure out where you messed up. You just tink back to the beginning of your repeat. So highly recommend. It's not a complicated, it's a very easy lace pattern. So anyway, highly recommend. Tin Can Knits, the love note. I will put links down below as always to all patterns, designers, makers, etc. that I talk about. Oh, my hair is so floppy. Okay, that's gonna drive people crazy. Okay, that was what I'm wearing. Now I have 5 FOs for you guys. Yeah, I've been busy. My hands have been feeling way better. If you're new here, you won't know. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I was recently diagnosed. My hands were really, really bad, and I was on the verge of not being able to knit. Everything is better now. I got steroids, I got rheumatoid medication, everything is good. I can do this, jazz hands, and I've been knitting up a storm. Now, my first FO, she's really cute. This is Penelope Featherington. Come up with a better name for this chicken, I dare you. I shouldn't do that. There are so many funny, like punny chicken names out there for these. If you haven't seen these, honestly, you must have been living under a rock, but if you're in the knitting world, you will have seen these. This is the Emotional Support Chicken pattern by, I can't remember, it's a knitting store in LA, I can't remember, the Knitting Tree maybe or something. I'll put the link down below. It was a super, super, super fun knit. The pattern is written strangely, so if you make one, pay attention. It's not hard, just the way that the pattern is written didn't really vibe with the way that my brain works, let's say. Anyway, the main color that I used here is Allison Barnes yarn, and the name of the colorway is, what was it called? Anxiety is a Bitch. So I thought that was a good name for an emotional support chicken, right? And then the pink stripes are Floral Morganite by La Bien-Aimée. This is left over from a tank top that I made that I showed on my last episode. And I don't know what you call it, it has a name, the hair, chickens, I don't know. This part and the beak are just some leftover minis, just some random minis that I have in my stash. So isn't she cute? Girl, she got some breasts. Oh, I just think she's so adorable. I knit this in like a day. It doesn't take long. I think the pattern calls for worsted. I went for more of like a DK gauge. This is all fingering held double. This. And it worked just fine. Like it doesn't matter if you're on gauge, right? Your chicken will just either be bigger or smaller. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, this is Penelope Featherington. You will get that reference if you watch Bridgerton. This season of Bridgerton is all about Penelope Featherington and her quest to land Colin. What's his name? I don't know. I'm not like, there are people who are like really into Bridgerton. I watch it when it comes out. I'm not obsessed, but I just thought I had just watched it and Penelope was on my mind and I was like, Penelope, that's an amazing name. So that is my first FO. My second FO was a whip on my last episode, and it is the Juno Top by Vertnitz, and this is her. So she's been blocked, she has stretched, and she's really cute. I haven't taken any FO pictures of it yet. I haven't really figured out entirely how to style it yet. Anyway, the straps do not line up with bra straps. So it is going to be a strapless bra affair. So she's not going to get worn super frequently, but whenever I feel like being cute and like, I'm probably going to wear it like with a high-waisted skirt or some high-waisted pants or something. It's pretty cropped. But anyway, she's so cute. Look at the crochet around. I just love, love, love. Once you finish the top, then you crochet these little scallops around the top edges. And I just think it makes it look so, so cute. So cute. Okay, so let me tell you about the yarn. I used Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. And this is the colorway Blood Orange. Just such a fantastic, like red, orangey red. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's 100% Burette silk. Burette silk. I still don't know how to make this focus after a year. Anyway, it's yeah, so it's 100% silk, but it's not like crunchy like some silk yarns, some pure silk yarns. It's really nice. It's soft and easy to work with. And yeah, in the pattern, it did say if you're working with a cotton or a silk or something like that that doesn't have the stretchy memory of a wool, a merino or something like that, to size down because it will stretch and then it won't go back to the original size. So I did do that. I made a smaller size. I can't remember. I think I made the smallest size. And it has like just from trying it on a bunch of times and then blocking it, it has stretched out. I was very worried when I finished it because it was teeny, teeny, tiny. And I was like, I don't think I can wear this, but it's much better now. So yeah, that is my Juno top. I don't really remember if I have anything else to say about that. The pattern is written really, really well. It has, that's what I was going to talk about. It has bust darts. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to make you see this. Oh yeah, you can see. So you can see that line there. Those are the short rows to make the bust darts. So you knit in the round, just in pattern up until where you want them to start. And there's all these like formulas in the pattern of how to measure, how far to knit before you start your bust darts, how big you want your dart to be, how many rows, like it's really, really well thoughtful pattern. And so then you just do your short rows back and forth here. I don't remember but like there's this side and there's this side. So you're just working back and forth here. This is funny. Yeah, and so you're not adding any length to the back. You're just making like a holder for the boobies. Oh, I think I'm in a little bit of a silly mood today. Okay. Is my Juno top by Vertnit. It is really cute, but it was a bit tedious for me because the pattern was very simple. It's only a 2-row repeat, but it's fingering weight and the entire thing is in pattern, and I just felt like it took me forever to knit. But very happy with it now that it's done. So Yeah, that was living in this bag from Mishnach, who I've mentioned before. She's a maker out east in Canada. I don't think she's making bags right now. I'll still put a link down below in case she comes back, but she makes beautiful bags with Harris Tweed and Rifle Paper Company, and has these beautiful big long straps. This was a gift from Shelly, who is Polka Dot Creek, who I used to work for as a yarn dyer until my hands went to shit and I had to quit because I couldn't squeeze yarn anymore because my hands hurt. But let's not start crying again, so let's move on. I did get to go visit them recently, which was awesome. I worked there for 3 years and it was like the funnest, the best job I've ever had in my entire life. Was knitting, not knitting. We got to knit sometimes, but not very often because we were very busy dyeing yarn. But yeah, it was super, super fun. And I absolutely loved the ladies that I worked with. So every chance I get, I drive out there and visit with them. I just go and they're dyeing away and I stand there and talk at them. I don't know if they enjoy it or not. They say they like it when I come for visits, but I don't know. Anyway, FO number 3 is my second modified outline tank. And this is how she turned out. Isn't she cute? Oh, I really, really like it. So in my last episode, I showed you one that I did like this that was in this Flora Morganite color. And as soon as I finished that one, I decided I needed to cast on another one and make a couple of minor tweaks. So I made the next size up from that one because that one turned out a little small. My gauge all of a sudden is super tight. I guess our tension changes as our bodies change and as whatever, as sometimes you're a little stressed out, sometimes, I don't know. I think I've just gotten the hang of continental knitting, and well, I've been continental knitting for a while, but I think I've just gotten the feel of, I've been knitting with a lot of fingering weight yarn, and when I'm knitting stockinette fingering weight, I've just gotten the feel of how I want it to look, how I want the fabric to look, how I don't want it to be gapey and holey, and so my tension has just gotten tighter so that the fabric turns out the way I want it to. So anyway, I have now made this one. This is I think I made the second size. The first time I made the first size. And the only modifications I made is I made it a little bit longer. So I can't remember how many inches, but I think I added like another inch or inch and a half longer than the last one I made. And on this one, I did I-cord at the top on the sides of the strap, because in the first one, there wasn't any I-cord there and it was just rolling in and driving me crazy. Again, this is the original pattern is called the Outline Tank by Jessie May, and I'll put that link below. And that it's very similar to this. The only difference is I knit it flat, going back and forth instead of knitting it in the round. And then I added a button band and buttons. So it's normally just knit in the round up until here. It has some drop stitches, which I didn't do. Yeah, but it's just knit in the round. And so I decided I really like the look of the button band in the middle. So I used one full skein of this yarn, and I should have talked about my yarn earlier. That's not it. Sorry. This is my yarn. It's called, the dyer is called Ba Yarn. And it's their La Jolla base, which is 100% superwash merino, and it's 400 yards. It's a really, really nice, like bouncy, squishy base. And the colorway is called Green is the Color. And I absolutely love it. It is one of the most beautiful colorways I've ever knit with. Like, the speckling is amazing. There was no pooling whatsoever. And there's just, you can't really see, but like there's so many different beautiful colors of speckles in here. And like, I don't know how many colors she actually speckled with. Like a lot of this is just the dye breaking as she's speckling, but like, oh man, it's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I was talking about, I used the full skein, and then what did I need to do? I finished the straps, and then I just needed to do the button band, but I had run out of yarn after I finished the straps. I had like this much left. So I didn't want to, I have another skein of it, but I didn't want to break into that just to do the button band. So I dug around in my stash and found this color that basically kind of goes with it. And I thought that might look cute, and off I went. One thing I did do on this one also, it's really silly. I probably should have just knit it in the round, but I do really like the look of the button band and the buttons. But after I did the button band and sewed the buttons on, then it was like pulling and gapping, which is weird because it's bigger than the other one. So it's not, I don't know why. Maybe I don't know what happened. So anyway, I just took the yarn and I sewed it down. So the button band doesn't open. So maybe that defeats the point, but I just think it looks really cute like that. Otherwise, I don't know. That's just me. So I got that yarn on our recent trip to San Diego at Apricot Yarn Shop, which was really cute. And I got actually, I think I am knitting with or about to knit with all of the yarn that I bought there. Because I got this one, I got another Ba yarn color, which you'll see in a little bit. And I'm using the Hue Loco yarn that I bought there. Oh, I think I am. Oh, look at me buying everything, using everything. Not everything I buy, obviously, but I'm doing well with knitting from my stash. I don't have an enormous stash. People who don't knit, oh my God, sorry. It drives me crazy when they're like, oh, wow, that would be quite the thumbnail, wouldn't it? A lot of people who don't knit and come in here and look at my stash think, oh my God, you have so much yarn. And then I'm like, you have no idea. You should see the stashes of like, this is nothing. Anyway, we don't judge each other on the size of our stash, right? Just means that we're ready. We're ready. And then we find a project that we don't have any yarn for, so we have to buy more. That's just how it goes. Anyway, this is my fourth FO. This is called the Front Porch Sweater by, again, can't remember his name. He's Pearl Jam on Instagram. Kevin, I think, something. I'll put the link below to the pattern. This is how she turned out. So this sweater was a bit of a saga. It was a bit of a bitch, let's just say. It went really well with the body. I did all the cabling. It was great. I kind of messed up this part here. That was supposed to be a cable, but it doesn't really matter. After I finished the body, I picked up the collar, did the collar. That was good. Then it came to the sleeves. The arm, I mean, I talked about all this on my last podcast, so I don't go into too much detail, but I made some modifications to the side because this armhole was enormous, so I didn't pick up as many stitches. And then I made some modifications to the way that I knit the sleeve because I just didn't think that the way I knit if I knit according to pattern, then the sleeve was gonna look really weird, I think, like for me. So I knit it a little differently, but then it kind of ended up with the same kind of thing anyway. It starts out really big and goes down to really small, so it's kind of bulky under here. So anyway, it looks really pretty. I think it looks really pretty, and I blocked it out. It's fairly boxy like I wanted it, but just when I put it on, it's not comfortable, which really sucks because this is a lot of work. I also ran out of yarn at one point. I had to, one of my lovely followers on Instagram like picked up some yarn for me and brought it to me so that I could finish it, and then that yarn wasn't the right color, so then I had to, it was a whole ordeal. And then I finally got the right color, finished the sleeve, and then I don't know, I might just have to fix the sleeves. It's the sleeves that bug me, the way that they fit. So I'm honestly not gonna go back and rip the sleeves out and do them again. Yeah, she's done. She counts as an FO. I'll show you. I know it looks normal, but when I put it on, this all bunches up underneath here, and I bound it off really tight, which also bugs me. I could redo the bind off easily, and then maybe that might make it more comfortable. It is really tight on the end. Anyway, it's done. The yarn I used for it is, the fingering weight yarn I used is Pistachio by Polka Dot Creek, and I held it together with Surrey alpaca lace weight, also from Polka Dot Creek, and that was a one-of-a-kind color, but very similar to the pistachio color. Yeah, and I have never knit a full sweater in Surrey before, and I really love it. I love how soft it is. As you can see, or if you've been here for a while, you know I love mohair. I love making fingering weight and mohair held together. I love it. This is my first time knitting a whole sweater with Surrey, and also love it. The only drawback is that the Surrey doesn't have as much yardage, so you have to buy more of it, but whatever. Okay, so that was my front porch sweater. That is done. I can say I didn't give up on it. I didn't just quit. I finished it, even though I didn't want to. The sleeves were supposed to be cabled too. That was another thing. I did not do that. I was absolutely not going to get done because, as you know, if you've been here for a while, I fucking hate knitting sleeves. So, yeah, my last FO is not knitting. I said I've shown before the cross stitch. Oh my God, the cross. Look at all of them. Oh. Anyway, the cross stitch things hanger. Oh man, my brain is not working today. The cross stitches that I have made for teacher gifts. I made 2 of them last year for my kids' teachers. This year we have one same teacher because my older son had her last year, my younger son had her this year, so she doesn't get one this year. She's getting something else. I showed that on my last podcast. But I said I wasn't going to do another one for my older son's teacher, but she's so amazing, and she really did. Oh my God. Okay, stop. She deserves it. She's been really amazing with him this year. He has ADHD. He got it from me. And she's been really accommodating and really helpful, and just generally all around an awesome person. So I made her a cross stitch for her classroom with her name, Senora Finsky. My kids go to Spanish bilingual school, so she's Senora. And this is a pattern I got off of Etsy, and you can have it customized to whatever name you want. Sorry, there's someone calling me right now. Hopefully that doesn't mess up my recording, and then it just stopped it. So hopefully that didn't mess up my entire recording before. We'll see. Anyway, this is a pattern from Etsy, and you can have she will chart the name out for you if you give it to her. I'll put a link down here to that. That just threw me right off. So, and sorry, I'm gonna be gross. This is driving me crazy. What a little spit won't help with. Oh man, my brain. Moving on to whips. I only have 2 active whips right now, which is weird. I keep thinking there must be something else I'm working on, but not really. I do have some like hibernating stuff, but we don't talk about Well, first of all, I'll talk about my blanket club because that is my ongoing whip, long-standing ongoing whip. I am using the blanket club yarn from Polka Dot Creek, and it is a club that you can get. You get the yarn in quarters, so you get the quarter 1 yarn, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. And every month is a color family, and you get 9 10-gram minis of each color. So I am using all of those to make a sweet shop blanket, and I am going to put a picture up here of where I'm at. I've finished August and I'm starting September. So I probably should have put a little spoiler alert before I put that picture up in case you haven't seen what September, what the Q4 yarn looks like. I think the Q3 yarn maybe just went up for sale. I used to work there, so I got a little ahead of myself. I have access to all of the yarn, so as soon as it is ready, I go and get it. So yeah, I just started on September. Oh, that's the last of Q3. So I haven't started Q4 yet, but I have it. And I am very much looking forward to it. I'm actually making a few changes to the last couple of stripes. Did I say Sweet Shop Blanket by Laura Penrose? I'll put that down below. I'm gonna make a few changes to my last 2 stripes. This stripe is September, so I'm gonna use the October yarn. And then for the November yarn, I'm going to use, I don't have it here with me, but I have a little mini bouquet also from Polka Dot Creek that will go nicely after that. And then for the last month, the last stripe, I'm going to use a bunch of different yarns. I don't have them yet, but Candace, who I used to work with at Polka Dot Creek, is also a yarn dyer, and her yarn company is called Mary Margaret Fibers. You should go check her out. I'll put a link down below. She has really, really fun yarn, a lot of neons, a lot of speckles, a lot of fun. And so she is going to put together a neon rainbow, like a 9-color neon rainbow to put for the last stripe, because there's nothing wrong with the last 2 months. There's nothing wrong with the yarn. It's beautiful. But I want it to still, it's not as bright, and I want the whole thing to be nice and bright. So I'm just veering a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that was my blanket club. And my other whip that I'm working on currently is the Moon Crush tank by Jacqueline Cieslak. And I have finished the front of, so this is a tank top that's knit. You knit the front panel, you knit the back panel, and then you seam it together. It's not usually my jam, but I'm trying new things. The other new thing I'm trying with this is it is intarsia, and I have never tried intarsia before. But I finished the front, and this is how it looks. Can you see a theme? This is the same. This is the same colorway as this, but not held with mohair. I'm very consistent. I have colors that I enjoy, but that's good. Knit with the things that bring you joy. So this is the front panel of the Moon Crush tank. So intarsia is where you're knitting with more than one color in a row, but you're not carrying floats. So when you knit across here, then you drop that color, you pick up your other color and knit across. And it seems like people make it sound really scary and hard, but really you just knit across, you drop your yarn over top of this yarn so it kind of twists and catches it. You pick up this yarn and keep going. That's all it is. It is not complicated. So these down here was just 2 colors. Then when I got to the rows with 3 colors, then the yarn management got a little trickier, but it's still the same. You just drop it, pick the other one up, and keep going. I just had to figure out how to keep what to do with my yarn as I was twisting so that it didn't become a giant tangled mess. So anyway, this is how the front panel looks. The back panel will be a little different. I think the colors are reversed. I think these colors are reversed, but I can't remember entirely. I just started my back panel at my hair appointment today. I cast on and got a few rows done. What was I gonna say? Oh, I should talk about the yarn. I have a lot of things rolling around in my brain. Can you tell? Let's just take a minute to breathe. I'm making this tank top with my friend Nicole, who is Prof Pearl on Instagram, Professor Pearl, I believe, on YouTube. We are going to Flock Fiber Festival together in Seattle in August, and they're having a knit along called, I can't remember, the Flock Along, Summer Flock Along, something like that. So it's a tees and tanks and whatever knit along leading up to the Fiber Festival, and then you can wear what you made for the knit along to the festival. So that's kind of fun. So Nicole and I decided we were going to make this tank top together. Well, I suggested it to her because I wanted to make it, and then she had already had yarn picked out for it for a long time and had never made it. So great minds think alike, right? Let's talk about yarn. These two yarns are, shocker of shockers, these are Polka Dot Creek yarn. It's all fingering weight. So this one is Antique Mauve. This one is Bee's Knees. And then this one down here, this is Hue Loco in the colorway Ochre. So they all go really nicely together. Bee's Knees, well, this ochre color is very similar to a colorway that Polka Dot Creek used to have, and then the dye changed, and then it didn't look like that anymore. So anyway, that color is speckled in here, and this color is speckled in here, so they go really, really nicely together. This obviously hasn't been blocked, which is why I have to keep strangling it to keep it open. But yeah, so that looks really nice. What else was I gonna say about that? I think that was almost it. Here's how much of my back panel I've got going. Very exciting. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about that one. And it is living in my Fringe Supply Company bag. You can't buy these bags anymore, but you can buy the pattern to make one yourself from Grain Line Studio. I'll put that link down below. This is one of my most used bags. I love it a lot. So if you sew or know someone who sews and would be willing to make one for you, it's a really great size bag. I love it. Okay, those are my only whips, but I am about to embark on a very, well, not very long, but an extended vacation. We're going away for a month. And so I've been planning what knitting I'm going to take with me, because that's the most important part of packing a vacation, if you're a knitter. So my friend Nicole, who I mentioned, the Prof Pearl, has two patterns that she is just starting a test knit for. So I told her that I will be test knitting them for her. I didn't really give her an option. I just told her I'm going to test those. The last pattern she had a test knit for, I demanded that she send me the pattern ahead of time. So I feel like I'm being a little bit less aggressive this time, but still I am realizing that maybe I'm being a little too aggressive still. I just want to help her. She's my friend. So anyway, she made this really cute tank top for her daughter, Matilda, and she is having that tested. It's just a kid's pattern, so it goes from baby to, I think the biggest size is 10 to 12 years. And I am hopefully I signed up for the size age for like the 2 to 3 years size. And I'm going to use this yarn. It's so fun. This is that same base of the Ba yarn, La Jolla base, 100% superwash merino. This colorway is called Crystal Wall. And I also got this in San Diego at Apricot Yarn. Sorry. Oh my goodness. It won't sit down. Anyway, I signed up for the size 2 to 3 years, and I'm hoping that once I'm finished that one, I will have enough yarn left over to do a smaller one, because some friends of ours have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. Yeah. So I'm hoping to have enough yarn to make one for both of them with this. I don't know what the yardage is. I don't have the pattern yet, but so we'll see. So I'm going to be knitting this while we're away on holidays. And the other pattern that she is having tested is a little, just like a little garter scarf. I think that's what she's calling it, the little garter scarf. Yeah, that's what the plan is for now, anyway. And it's a DK weight scarf. So I am going to use this yarn that I have in my stash that was gifted to me by the lovely Justine, who I go to knit night with. The dyer is Over the Moon Yarn, who's a local Alberta dyer. She lives a little bit farther north in Alberta, and I don't know what the name of the colorway is because Justine was using this for something else, and she had a full skein left over that was all wound up, and she asked if I wanted it. I said, oh, yes. So it's just like a neutral. It's been, the main color is dyed like a light beige wash over it. And then it's got yellow, neon yellow blips. Not really speckles, but just little blips. That's what I call them. So I think that's gonna make a really fun little scarflet, scarf, mini scarf, whatever you want to call it. I think will be an excellent alternative to Sophie scarves. If you don't want to make a Sophie scarf, I think it's really, really cute. I don't think she has any pictures up yet, so I don't think I can put a picture up, but it's going to be really, really cute, and it's going to be really quick too. I think she said it only took her 50 grams or something to make. So that I'm going to make that on holidays. I'm going to make maybe 2 tank tops on holidays. And then I have another tank top that I want to make for myself while I'm on holidays. So, I can't remember, I think someone posted a picture of a whip that they were working on for this pattern, and I loved it. And I immediately looked it up. It's called the Sailor Swift tank top. Yes, I'm a Swiftie, and I think that is I love the name. So that got me first of all, but also it's just a really, really cute, hopefully I put up a picture here before when I said Sailor Swift. It's just a really cute tank top, striped, and I just happened to have yarn in my stash to make it with. So these are both, this is what I'm going to use. These are both Sonder Yarn Company, and it's their Muse base, which is 90% merino and 10% linen. It's a fingering weight base. It's about 400 yards per skein, per 100 grams. I don't remember what the name of this, maybe it's flat white. I think it's flat white. And this one is called Ogilvy. So it's like where the linen is spun into it makes it look almost heathered, and I think it's going to be really pretty. So the main color is going to be the flat white, and the stripes will be the blue, and I think that's going to be really fun. The pattern is a little bit of a racer back, so I'm going to try and modify that a little bit so that it's just a regular back instead of a racer back, because I don't really enjoy a racer back. I want to be able to wear a regular bra with it. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so those are going to be my cast-ons. Do you think that's going to be enough knitting for a month? I'm a little worried that I'm not taking enough knitting with me. I might have to plan like an emergency project in case I finish all that. Because I have to finish the back panel. Let's take stock here. Did finish the back panel of the Moon Crush tank. 1 kid's, possibly 2 kids' tank tops, fingering weight, 1 DK weight scarf, and another fingering weight tank top. Now tank tops don't take that long, and that one will be knit in the round, so it will take even less time than knitting it flat. Both of those will be knit in the round. I think I probably, just for ease of mind, need to take 1 more project just for emergency. I'm also planning on visiting at least 1 yarn store while we're gone. Our first week, we're going to Spain, if I didn't mention that. Our first week we're in Barcelona, and where we're staying is about a 20-minute walk from a yarn store that I found online that looks really cute. It has a bunch of their own hand-dyed yarn, so that drew me in. I can get some locally dyed, hand-dyed yarn. So maybe I'll just buy something there. I don't know. And when I was mapping it out, so from where we're staying, I can walk past, like, there's an Arc de Triomphe in Barcelona, so I can walk past that, and then I can walk past the Chocolate Museum, yes please, and then I will get to the yarn store. So very looking forward to that day. We've told our kids, this is a little bit of life, but we've told our kids that they can research and find something to do, each of them, one day in Barcelona. So my younger son found a cool water park that he wants to go to. We're gonna do that one day. And my older son he has his heart set on, there's like a VR place, a virtual reality video game place that he wants to go to, which isn't something that's only in Barcelona, which I guess a water park isn't just only in Barcelona, but anyway, I don't want to play VR. So I think maybe if I can wrangle it, I think maybe Dave might take them to VR one day, and while they're doing that, I might walk to the yarn store. Sorry, got another phone call. I'm very popular. So I might have to stop now and see what that phone call was about. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was talking about going to the yarn store. Yeah, so I might pack an emergency project just in case, but I also might just go buy some yarn at the yarn store. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Acquisitions. I don't have a lot of acquisitions. I don't think I have any yarn acquisitions to show you. I did have to buy a skein of the antique mauve for my Moon Crush. I just had a mini of it, and so I needed to buy a full skein of that. So I did get that. I did buy the 1/4 of the Blanket Club yarn, but I don't think I should show you that because that's way far ahead, and I don't think she has shown anybody that, so I don't think I can spoil it on here quite yet. I did buy an I-cord maker. I'm sure you've seen these all over the internet. This is not a cordsmith. I will come right out and say it. Autumn, who is I mentioned, oh no, I didn't mention that on here. I mentioned it in my knitting room tour video. Autumn, who runs the Size Inclusive Collective page on Instagram, she invented the cordsmith, which is basically this, where it's like a handle and it's got 3, these are knitting machine needles basically, but you use it to make I-cord. And then after she invented that and everyone was losing their minds saying they needed them, then lots of other people started making them. So you can't control that. I would 100% buy one from Autumn if I could, but I try not to buy things. She's in the US. I try not to buy things from the US because the exchange rate is insane and the shipping rates are insane. And this was made by a really lovely local maker here in Calgary. Her name is Claire, and she's called Purple Gecko Studio. She is one half of the organizers of the Fiber Shindig Fiber Festival here in Calgary. So she makes these with clay. I think the cordsmiths are 3D printed the handles, and she makes these with clay and bakes them. And anyway, I know it's not the original Cordsmith, but I did support a local artist, so hopefully that kind of evens out the karma. I bought that because the tank top that I'm making in my test knit for Nicole, the straps are I-cord so that they can kind of adjust, and you can loosen them and make the straps longer so the kid can wear the tank top for longer. So they're long straps of I-cord, so I thought that this would be a fantastic way to make it through that I-cord faster. So hopefully I can figure out how to use it. Yeah, so that's really all I have for acquisitions. I did buy some new wheels for my skateboard. I know that is a little out of left field and not related to knitting at all, but I have been doing a lot of skateboarding lately. And I've been in particular trying to learn how to carve the bowl, which means just kind of like going up and down and around and going around corners without having to kick my skateboard to turn. And my wheels that I had on my skateboard were the original wheels that I got. I just bought the whole skateboard all together. Like you can buy the deck on its own, and the trucks are the things on the bottom that hold onto the wheels. You can buy those on their own. You can buy the wheels on their own. You can buy the bearings in the wheels on, like there's all kinds of things that you can do. Anyway, the wheels that were on my skateboard originally were just like really, they're fine. They spin, but they were really small and hard, and so I couldn't go very far on them. And a lot of people had advised me that I skate with, that if I got some bigger, softer wheels, that carving the bowl would be easier. I would be able to go farther, get more speed, and keep my speed. And you knitting people probably don't want to hear about this, but I am really, really loving the skateboarding right now. So I bought some new wheels for my skateboard. I'll put a picture up here. The new wheels that I'm putting on are the orange wheels. The old wheels are the blue wheels in this picture. They're all over the place in this picture, but I can confirm I did go skate yesterday for a bit in the morning after I dropped off my kids at school, and they're awesome. They're helping tremendously with my carving. So you can sleep at night knowing that my new skateboard wheels are helping me with my carving. Yeah, anyway, I have talked about all my knitting, really. I would like to give you a tour of my new knitting room. So I am going to cut away. I did a video before I started this video, giving you a tour around. So I'll go to that, and then we'll come back. Okay, welcome to my new knitting room. It's very, very cozy, and I love it so much. Anyway, here we are in the entryway. It's French doors that just always stay open, unless my kids are being really noisy, because that's one kid's bedroom, and then back behind me is the other kid's bedroom. So sometimes they get a little noisy. Most of the time they stay open. So in we go. This is a mop doll that my mom made me a long time ago. And over here we have my cube that pretty much every knitter ever has, full of yarn. And there's, Penelope, there she is up there, that's where she lives. This is my little bulletin board. I put pins and stuff from places that I go up there. I have a calendar with my kids, and I have a yarn calendar from Tannis Fiber Arts. This is where I wind my yarn. I pull it out beside my chair over here. It's a little thing from IKEA. I think it's called Knit Back. It's meant for putting under, it's meant as a table leg to put under tables, and it's adjustable, but it's perfect for setting up your winder and your Swift, and then you don't have to take them down and whatnot. Anyway, here is the gorgeous windows that make amazing natural light in here. It's the most amazing thing. Here are our chairs. Dave's chair over here, my chair over there, and a little knitting basket. That's my blanket club knitting basket down there. I found these really cute curtains at Walmart that were nice and colorful. I'm pretty sure they were meant for like 5-year-old girls' bedrooms, but I quite like them. They have colorful little pom-poms on them and I think they're really cute, so it doesn't matter. I've got a bunch of shawls and stuff on the back of my chair. This is where my cross stitch from that my mom made me is. She works with willing hands in delight. I love it so much. And over here is my painting that I haven't worked on for a really long time. That bag over there is full of project bags. This shelving unit is so ugly, but it's enormous. I wanted to get it painted white, but the painter said it would be cheaper just to buy a new shelving unit. So it's just gonna have to do for the time being. And then over here is my wall that I finally just decorated last week. I love my cat up there. I think she is just the embodiment of my personality, really. Just like, I look at people like that all the time. I have no filter. My face has no filter. Well, I have no filter, but anyway, I got all my favorite things up on the wall. There's my, oh, it's reflecty. There's my lady knitting. That was a gift from my friend Karen. There's my diamond art that I did when I almost broke my wrist skateboarding. Here's a picture of all of our skateboards that we lined up at my skateboarding crew a few weekends ago. I thought it was a really cool picture. I did some punch needle. If I'm sitting, I'm knitting. There's my Golden Girls. More punch needle. This is some art that Autumn from the Size Inclusive Collective, she paints sometimes. I did this little embroidery. That's from Knitted Bliss. And this is a picture of me knitting on the beach in San Diego. And that is a little, I didn't make that or that, but I think they're pretty. And I got myself a pretty pink knitting chair, or office chair for my knitting room. And that's about it. Here's me at the Top Gun piano where Goose played Great Balls of Fire. And then coming back out is the other door. I have a bunch of shawls hanging on. So that is my knitting room. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed the video of my knitting room tour. It is very large. I do know that. I am super, super, super lucky. Just the way that this house is built, that there's this enormous like bonus room slash den up above the garage. Dave is using the dining room. There's like an official fancy dining room downstairs. We don't have a giant dining room table, so Dave is using that as his office, so I get to use this whole room as my knitting room, thank goodness. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. That's where I sit and knit most of the time. Yeah, I mentioned before I'm gonna do a giveaway this episode. Recently I was looking on my YouTube channel. I just wanted to see, I can't remember what I was even looking at, maybe when my last episode was or something like that. And I noticed that I had hit 1,500 subscribers. So I was like, well, that's something to celebrate. So let's do a giveaway. And then when I was on Instagram, I was looking at something else. Like, I'm not like actively tracking how many subscribers and followers I have, but these are just things that I noticed. And I noticed on Instagram that I'm like 40 or 50 followers away from 3,000. So I thought, okay, well now I definitely have to do a giveaway because it doesn't really matter how many subscribers or followers I have, but I do want to thank you guys for following me along in this little journey. So then I had to decide what I was going to give away, and it's a good one. You guys are going to, well, maybe not. If you're not sweater knitters, you might not be into this, but there's a lot. That's why I said it's a bit epic. So I bought all this yarn maybe a couple years ago. One of the knitting stores here closed and they were having a sale. and they had this yarn, and I was gonna use this yarn to make a sweater for my husband. So I bought a lot of it. And then I did make a sweater for my husband, but I used different yarn. So now I have this yarn and okay, let me just show it to you. This is, oh, it's upside down. Haynes Creek Heathers. It's by Gathering Yarn, which they do, they have some hand-dyed yarn. I'm pretty sure this is dyed commercially, but it's an Aran weight. So it's nice and thick, but it's 100% pure Highland wool. It's non-superwash, but it's not scratchy non-superwash. It's really nice and soft, super squishy, bouncy. It's really, really nice. But this is not, like, I think this color is beautiful, but I wear, most of the pants I wear are jeans, like blue jeans, and I wouldn't make myself a sweater this color to wear with blue jeans, because then I would feel like a blue slab. So anyway, I have 8 of these skeins of yarn that I am willing to give to one of you. So it is, I think, a pretty good giveaway. There are lots of, like, I think 8 skeins should be enough for pretty much any size of, there's 197 yards per skein. And like I said, it's Aran weight, so it's a little bit heavier than worsted. I've made another sweater with this same yarn for my brother-in-law, and it's really, really nice to work with. So anyway, I'm not trying to sell you this yarn. I'm trying to give this yarn away to you. I'm just trying to tell you it's a really nice yarn. And I have 8 of them. So that's 8 times 200, let's say, is 1,600 yards. So that should, and Aran weight is bigger, so you can get a bigger, anyway. So comment below. I'm not gonna give you a prompt like what you're gonna make with it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a plan. It's like when you go into the yarn store and you buy a bunch of yarn and they're like, what are you gonna make with it? You're like, I don't know, I just like it. So if you wanna win this, even if you don't know what you're gonna make with it, just make a comment below. Say something nice about me. I like that. No, you don't have to do that. You can tell me what your holiday plans are for the summer, if you have any. If you don't have any, that's cool too. Staycations are awesome. I am just rambling. So anyway, I am having a giveaway to celebrate that people like me, I think. Is the moral of the story. So yeah. Comment below if you would like to win 8 skeins of Aran weight yarn. There is a caveat, however you say that word. I will not be able to send it to you until we get back from our holidays. So it's gonna be, we won't be home until mid-July. So if you're in a real rush, then too bad. It's not gonna get to you until later. But I will send it to you. I will pick a winner on my next podcast. Okay, that's all the knitting, yarny related stuff. And I'm not gonna talk for too long about my life because I'm getting tired of the sound of my own voice and I have to go pick up my kids in like half an hour. So I gotta get started editing this and all that stuff. Okay, so yeah, nothing really crazy and exciting. I mean, the first half of this year was crazy. We sold our house, we had to pack all our house up, we had to move, we went on holidays, we went on different holidays, we're going on more holidays. This year is very holiday centric because Dave gets so many extra weeks of holiday this year because of his sabbatical. So yeah, so it's almost summer. My kids are missing the last 2 weeks of school because we're leaving this weekend. My younger son is on his 3rd field trip today in the last month. So we're not really feeling bad about them missing the last 2 weeks of school. Nothing is getting done. My older son had his school spring concert a week or 2 ago. And that was fun. He was actually excited about this one. He played a drum that was like the size of his entire body. He had a strap he was carrying it, and it was really cute. So he was excited about that. And that same night, I went to my nephew's band concert. He's in grade 9. And so he's like graduating grade 9 from his school and then going to high school. So he was in regular band, he was in jazz band, he plays the electric bass guitar, and he plays the double bass, which is like the giant, like sort of cello-like, but giant stand-up. Like I think it's bigger than him, honestly, but he plays it really beautifully. And so I got to go see him play that. Like I said, I've been doing lots of skateboarding. I joined a club here in Calgary called the 100%, I think it's called 100% skateboarding. I can't remember. It's 100% something. It's a women's skate club, women inclusive of all of everyone under the rainbow. Oh, happy Pride Month, by the way. I can't believe I didn't say that right at the beginning. Happy Pride. Yeah, so women, non-binary, trans, anyone who identifies as female or non-binary, whatever, can come into our skating club. It's a very inclusive space, and it's for anyone who, like, for women in skateboarding, it can be very intimidating to go to a skate park and have a bunch of dudes just ripping around and like flying around and stuff. When, like, especially for me, I'm 45 and I'm still learning, and it's very intimidating. I always feel like I'm pissing someone off or I'm in someone's way or something like that. With all my pads on, I got my wrist guards and my elbow guards and my knee guards and my helmet and whatever, and like I look like a newbie out there for sure. So this is a really nice way for me. They have different groups within the club, and the group that I'm in is all women over 40, so we're called the OGs. And so we get together on Sunday mornings and skate together. They have some really seasoned skateboarders in there that are mentors, and they like mentor the women that are trying to learn. There's all different levels. There's people who are like brand new, still learning, intermediate. Like it's a really inclusive, fun environment. So skateboarding is really hard, and it is intimidating. And if you're in a really supportive, inclusive environment, it makes it a lot more fun. So, yeah, if there's anything out there that is hard, that you're scared of trying, oh, my husband's home, I gotta get going. Just do it. Don't be scared. Just do it. Life's too short. Yeah, just getting ready for Spain. We're leaving this weekend, and yeah, I think that was all I had to talk about. I do have to go because if my husband comes in here, I'm gonna get super self-conscious about talking to myself in my knitting room. So I hope everyone has a really wonderful summer. Get lots of knitting done, and comment below if you want to take part in the giveaway, if you want to win a whole bunch of yarn. And take care of yourselves, and happy knitting, and I'll see you next time.